Alright, now on this page, it says, in the coordinate plane, find the distance between the points using absolute value. Now, you can only use absolute value if one of the numbers is a negative and the other one is a positive. Now, what I'm talking about is this point right here, the coordinates for that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my coordinate plane for that one is 4, 5. The coordinate plane for the other one is 4, negative 3. Alright, so like I said, you can only use absolute value if the one number is opposite and negative. Now the ones they have in common are obviously 4 and 4, but we're not going to work with that. We're going to work with the 5 and negative 3. What is the absolute value of 5? 5. What is the absolute value of 3? Negative 3. 3. We add those together. That'll give me 8. So that's the distance between these 2 points. Now you're going to do the same thing for problem number 1. You're going to locate and label 4, 5 and 4, negative 3. Draw a line segment. Pretty much it's going to look like this, connecting the 2 dots. And then you're going to see how long the line segment is that you drew. For number 2, it's a little bit different. They're going to ask you to plot 4 and 3, and then you need to draw a line that has a length of 9 units. That means it could go, if you have a point, that means it can go 9 units that way, 9 units up, 9 units to the left, or 9 units down, whichever way you want. And then it says right here, what are the possible coordinates of the other end? So that means you can have 1 possibility, 2, 3, 4. Again, you start at 4, negative 3, which would be this point, and then you just work your way that way. 9, 9, 9. Okay, now on number 3, the 2 lines, segments that you have just drawn could be seen as 2 sides of a rectangle. What that means is that you probably started at 4, negative 3, I believe that was the last point, and you went 9 units up, and then you went 9 units to the right. Now it's asking, given this end, 2-point line segments would be 3 of the vertices. Here's 1, 2, 3 vertices. It says find the coordinates of the 4th vertex. That means the 4th vertex has to be somewhere right here. Alright, what is that coordinate? Because obviously when you put 4 vertices, it makes a rectangle. What they want to know is what is the coordinates of that point right there. B, how does the 4th vertex that you found relate to each of the consecutive vertices in either direction? Pretty much what they're asking is, what does this coordinate relate to the other 3? Number 4 says, using the vertices that you have found in the lengths of the line segment between them, find the perimeter of the rectangle. So that means you need to add up all the sides. Add up this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. Now if you remember from the last problems, that should be no problem. Then you find the area. Area is base times height. Now for this one, you know you don't need to do this problem. We're going to go straight to number 7. It says construct, meaning make a rectangle on the coordinate plane that satisfies each of the criteria listed below. These are criteria. Identify the coordinate of each of its vertices. So first it says each vertice lies on different coordinates, on different quadrants. So now what this means that you need to have a point that is in this quadrant, this quadrant, this quadrant, and this quadrant. So you need to put a point in each of those 4. Next, its sides are either vertical or horizontal. So that means you need to draw lines that go horizontal and vertical. The perimeter of the rectangle is 28 units. That means that when you draw your 4 points, here's 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. When you add up all the sides, it has to equal 28 units. Now here's your homework. One end point of a line segment is negative 3, 6. So all you have to do is just imagine where negative 3 and negative 6 is. The length of the line segment is 7 units. So you need to find this point and then another point that is 7 units away, either going vertical or horizontal in either direction or going down. Find 4 points that could serve as the endpoint of the line segment. Here's an example. If my starting point is 2, 4, I need to go 7 units up. So that means I'm going to start at my x-axis, which is 2. Now I need to go 7 units up. 7 plus 4 equals 11. If I want to go 7 units to the left, that means I need to change my x-axis. So I'm going to go 7 units to the left. I'm going to end up at negative 5 and 4. And I'm at negative 5 because if you remember, this is 2. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. And now I need to find one more point, and I can just decide what way I want to go. Now, problem number 2, they give you 2 vertices of a rectangle. 1 and negative 6, negative 8, negative 6. So these are the 2 points. If the rectangle has a perimeter of 26 units, what are the coordinates of its other 2 vertices? So basically what they did is they just gave you this vertice and this vertice, and you connect them. They want to know what these other 2 are. And then also, you can't just pick any 2 because when you add up all these sides, it has to equal 26 units. Now the next one is a rectangle has a perimeter of 28 units. So a rectangle is 28, has a perimeter, when you add up all these sides, is 28 units. And the area of 48 squares. So that means when you multiply this times this number, gives me an area of 48 units. The sides that are horizontal or vertical, that means obviously horizontal, vertical. If one vertex is at negative 5, 7, so they're already giving you one corner, the origin should be 0, 0, meaning like basically where the 2 x's cross, that's origin, is the interior. Interior means inside of the rectangle. Find the vertex of the rectangle that is opposite of negative 5, 7. So if negative 5, 7 is here, what is the opposite? So that means your drawing should look like this. Here's my coordinate plane. Should look something like that. They're giving you obviously this one. They need you to find the opposite one.